Y'all probably thought we were never going to get in here, but here we are. We don't have a lot of time. Mr. Orwell has some other things to do tonight, and he's going to be on his channel. Highly recommend that you slide on over there from here and take part in the stream that he's got lined up for tonight. So without any further ado, thank you very much, Common Sense Guy, Magic Ball, especially Common Sense Guy for hosting this, and to the most honor to Orwell. Do you have a final word for us, sir? Some way to send us off? If so, take your time. You got up to 5 minutes to say anything you'd like. Kick back and enjoy, folks. Thanks again, Orwell.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me on, guys. Thanks, Common Sense Guy, Bollocks, and Ogre for what's been a great evening. And yeah, I think the only thing I've got to really to say is just keep bettering yourself. Keep reading, never stop learning, never stop losing that spark, that flame, that willingness to wanting to learn more and accept new challenges, new roles, and always just keep informing your friends, keep red pilling your friends, keep telling them what's what, keep telling them that what the modern world is today is it's just we are in a crisis. We absolutely are in a crisis. And, it's not forever. And if we just keep driving people to maybe think differently, to break out of the spell that's been cast over the masses by the mainstream media, academia, schooling, whatever corporations have to say, and all that kind of stuff, we will win. We will win. So, yeah, just be the best you can. Walk, train, eat right, and people will cotton on. And the thing is, you're going to bore people to death if you keep talking about politics all the damn time. So you've got to try to red pill them meta-politically, beyond the political. You need to think about trying to get inside their minds via a different realm. So if you get people to maybe learn how to defer gratification, to maybe learn how to lower their time preferences, they'll become a different person, and they'll be more keen and more attuned to wanting to change their views. It's about maybe trying to get them to, I know it's a bit crafty, a bit sneaky, but even if you just get people like into lifting or into maybe pursuing a goal, long-term goal, so they understand strategy, planning, deferring gratification, enjoying what it is to work hard towards something and reaping the benefit, getting that dopamine hit is so important, because I think that a lot of the times people growing up these days, since they don't really face much competition, they don't really get that dopamine hit after completing the goal or after earning something, which is probably one of the reasons why, which was the original theme of the conversation, why a lot of youngsters turn to socialism in this day and age, because they don't face much competition growing up. And of course, that does a real number on the cerebral development. Their amygdalas atrophy, so they don't know how to perceive threats. And when they do come into contact with competition, and when they do come into contact with inequality, instead of cherishing it, instead of understanding that it's a good thing, it's a net benefit for society and humanity to enjoy these kind of things, and that the rewards will be far greater, the personal and societal rewards will be far greater if you embrace and harness competition and some forms of inequality, because without inequality you couldn't have a division of labour, then it will make everything for the better. And society will become more cohesive, because after competition, it releases oxytocin. If you're deprived of oxytocin, you become loveless, you become joyless, you become unhappy. And let's be realistic, some of these radical socialists, some of these people, these bugmen, these soy boys, these cucks, these thoughts, these radical feminists, the fat, body positivity people, they're not happy. Have you ever seen them genuinely crack a smile? It's because they're deprived of all these things. And if you want to have a better future, you need to start encouraging this. You need to start promoting nature, human nature, most importantly, because we've drifted so far off course. Humanity drifted so far off course in the last 150 years, I'd put it. Ever since the government, in my opinion, started taking control over education and the money supply, we've been turned into humans, into now some interchangeable economic units, a material good that could just be tipped around across the world to consume and to do whatever work is adequate in order to give us enough resources to consume. So I'd just like to finish at that. Just basically be a human, be the best you can be. And if you like what I have to say, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is all good, and you can follow me elsewhere, which is pretty much linked to my channel. So I'd like to thank you guys again for having me tonight. It's been highly enjoyable, and I definitely want to have you on my channel sometime in the not so distant future.
Cheers.
Thank you very much. Definitely.
I'm hitting your follow button right now. Have a good stream tonight, and we're going to try not to be competition. We're going to probably do our thing and then see where we go, which will be also in different directions. Thank you so much, Orwell.
Cheers again, guys. Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate. Bye, mate.
Well, I don't know what to do now, boys, other than continue with our final words, or do y'all want to gloat for a minute? I don't have a whole lot of time. I got to get out of here by 6 myself.
Well, I'd just like to say that he has a very good point there, which is that it's wonderful working with us three, so it's no wonder he wants to have us on his channel. So,
Yes.
you know, he's obviously got good taste, that boy.
Yes.
Well, I suppose quickly what I really need to say is I'm really sorry, guys, for everybody that's come over from my channel to come on to watch on Ogre's channel. I'm really sorry. There's been a slight problem with my laptop. It ran out of battery, and I don't know where the charger is at the minute. So we've had to use my phone, and we've had to move everything across. But you're good, all good guys, and I know that you all understand. So thank you very much for coming across and watching the last little bit. I will add it on as an addendum to the end.
Well, yeah, and you can edit it up, man. You can edit it right up to where it's just, you know, it's like nothing happened.
Yeah, but you know me, mate. I don't hide anything from anybody, so it will be here as it is.
Okay.
So, well, I don't see the point. I mean, people will then go, well, why has it changed to this? And that it's just better to be open. I think that's something that Orwell was probably touching on. The fact of the way that, as you quite rightly say most of the time, the best way to get rid of something or to show something is crap is by showing it sunlight. The best form of disinfectant is sunlight.
Yeah.
Bring it out into the open.
Yep.
I think that's the best way of dealing with any sort of problems that you have.
Yeah, they'll tell you that in Darjeeling in India.
Nope.
Well, hell, then we'll just keep it succinct and keep it in tune. I gotta say he was great, good guy, excellent. I really do enjoy his streams, man. He'll have somebody on, and he'll let him go, man. I was watching this one dude on. I don't want to go forever, so I'm just saying he'll have people on, and some of the folks, I'm sure from what I've seen of him, he's not in agreement with what they say. What their their points, or at least not totally, but he's good at letting someone speak and not getting in the way too much. He's really good at that, man. He's a really good host. It's an easy rounded way to say it. Well, so there you go, boys. Let's do it the old-fashioned way and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, sure. I think it's a good idea. Magic Bollocks, do you want to take us away?
As always. Right, okay. I will sort of second what Orwell was saying in terms of we've got a slight issue at the moment, which is politically the left have seized control of pretty much all the institutions, and thus they're trying to push their poisonous ideology onto everybody, not really realizing that most average people don't buy into it and think it's a load of bollocks, including myself. In fact, I think my whole persona is sort of like a reflection on how I view things, which is life is magic, but mostly it's bollocks. And I'm hoping that the vast majority of people are, as I see them, sensible and rational and can see nonsense when it's presented in front of them and will reject it. Why I still personally believe Jeremy Corbyn will never set foot in 10 Downing Street. Why I don't think Bernie Sanders will ever get anywhere close to the White House, and it's not just because of Clinton money preventing him from it. It's because people in general are not stupid enough to vote in socialism/communism in the West, because overall, people know what it is. Even these young people who've had their minds poisoned, I think we're seeing a minority who are shouting the loudest, whereas the majority just keep their heads down, get normal jobs, and realize that capitalism in its purest form is the best system we currently have, even though it's far from perfect. And I still believe in the whole idea of the pendulum, and I do believe it is coming back. What will happen, though, is, of course, it will end up going too far to the right, and we will start having the same problems again, but in a different manner, which is we'll probably all become too nationalistic, we'll all become too xenophobic, and probably end up in some kind of war situation. I don't know, but we as a human race are incredibly fallible, and we keep seeming to make the same mistakes over and over again. And all you can hope is that one day wisdom will win the day, but it probably won't be in my lifetime anyway. So, with that said, thank you very much to all the people who followed us over in the chat, all the nutcases that are part of our little cult now. I always said I didn't believe in collectivism, but if I'm the leader of the cult or one of the leaders, then I'm fine with it. So all bow down to the three mighty leaders of the pack. And of course, thank you very much to Orwell, even though he's gone. He was a very insightful chap, knew what he was talking about, and even more strange, a guest that didn't want to talk all the time. He was very reserved and only spoke when he felt necessary to do so. So that was very refreshing. And of course, thank you to Common Sense for initially hosting the show. He made it very entertaining.
Cheers.
And of course, I must doff my trilby to the one, the only, the eccentric, and the luckiest bastard in the world, because he's married to Mrs. Ogre. Mr. Ogre. Thank you, sir.
I don't know. Oh, so I guess I go first. Yeah, it was a great.
No. It's your channel, mate. I'll go second, and you can close us out.
Either way, yeah, go ahead.
I just really want to echo the sentiments that have actually been said today. We've touched on quite a different aspects. We didn't cover the topics that I initially wanted to, but I think that's the most amazing thing about conversations. You may set up a plan, you may set up a script even to a point, but that doesn't counter the point of people actually going off in their own directions, their own tangents. Somebody would think of something and it comes on like a light bulb, and it's just a case of you have to go with it. And I think those type of conversations where it's not forced, and I think that's the reason why we get these people on the channel. Not because necessarily that we're absolutely amazing at our jobs, but we are, but not necessarily just because of that, but because we let people go off on what they want to talk about. If we're going to set up a description about, oh yeah, we're going to talk about how the left is bad and how the right's good or whatever, and we go off on a talking about economics and different points of view on that, maybe it will be a bit boring for people, but at the same time, some people might enjoy it. And that's the point. Everybody has their own little niche. Everybody has their own point of view. And I think that's what we cater to. Everybody that we've ever had come on here, we always try to at least apply to their points of view, their ideology, or we try to understand it at least. And I think that's where we do amazingly well. The fact that we're able to give those type of people platforms. Now, I'm not trying to say that Orwell and Good needs our sort of platform, but it's a case that he doesn't have to pretend to be anything he's not. It's a case that he can be who he wants to be, talk about what he wants to talk about. And I think those type of conversations are the best sort of conversations. They're real conversations. And I think we're lacking that in politics and on YouTube in a generalization as well. Because everybody plays a character. And I think that's the point that we do very well. We bring out the normal people. We bring out the people that have those point of views, but at the same time can express it in their own way rather than trying to play to a script. And I'm very, very grateful for that. And I'm very grateful for my co-hosts as well, because I think that's the reason why we do so well and entice so many big people, so to speak, onto our channels. And I'd just like to say that I love you too, my brothers. And I'll pass it on to the ogre.
Cheers. Yeah, it was a great show. I think a lot of it is it comes down to experience, and the more that Boggs works with us, we work with him and become more of a cohesive team, better it is. And then I'm learning myself. I mean, tonight, someone said, when I was asked to speak, we're waiting, we haven't heard. Well, you have to, if you're going to, for one thing, if there's going to be 3 people there and a guest, there's only so much time and so much oxygen in the room. That's number one. And then number 2, in the past, there's been conversations going on where, honest to goodness, I just didn't have nothing to throw in on it. I can't be, Mr. Guru on everything on earth. No one can be. And so there have been times where, especially I think about Sargon, when Sargon was on, and we're talking about, Lord, I don't remember what they were talking about. I think it might have been North Korea, and no, it was Syria. And I asked some question about North Korea. Now, it was after the Britisher and Sargon had been talking for about 45 minutes or so. But that's the immediate response. I mean, it's just, so I've learned over this time, this year gone by, to just, there's a time to know where you're at, and to say, well, if there's 3 other people here, one the guest of honor in this case, how would it benefit if I spoke up on this, that, or the other thing? Maybe the thing we're talking about now, or an idea that pops in my head, because I thought about it after anyway, I brought up something tonight that after I did, I was like, damn, I just brought up some shit somebody said me on Twitter. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was inappropriate, but point being, I don't know, boys. Be yourself, have fun, have a good life. Don't worry too much about what other people think. In fact, my suggestion is you don't worry at all. And in fact, don't think too much about what you think. Try to let that roll off your back. Also, you may turn out to be your own worst critic. A lot of cases, that's the way it is in life. That's the way we can be. Don't be that person, give yourself a break. And other than that, I don't know. Be good to your friends and be good to your family members. On this Friday, it's a Friday, and so that's preparation day to me as I wrap up to obviously go into my end diatribe that I just broke into and say, Mrs. Ogre and I are just getting ready to kind of unwind and enjoy this sundown to sundown period where we don't really do much. And especially Mrs. Ogre, somebody that a lot of people ask of her, can you do this? Can you do this? We need to do this. We need to do that. Something is here. Can you do that? Get it here. Take it there. And I love my wife, but she's very kind about being there for her family and people that need her help. But this is the period of time where we can both say, her included, of course. When I say it, we both go away. we don't do anything. We're not going to do anything today. So remember, as this time closes in for me, other than what I'm about to tell you, this is the second best piece of advice that I can give you. Find a 24-hour period of time and use it for your own self. Play video games, drink hot tea, and watch documentaries. Go to get a shiatsu, massage, oil, whatever it is that helps you unwind. Play some golf, whatever it may be, racquetball. Do something and unwind and get away from the daily grind one day a week. That will help you to be a better person and loosen you up. And now that I've said that, if you forget everything else, if you don't remember anything else that I tell you, remember this. Be good to your friends. Be good to your family members. Be good to your loved ones. Be quick to say you're sorry. Be even quicker to accept an apology, especially when that thing your friend, your family member, your loved one has done seems to be so huge, you'll never be able to forget about it. Because constant viewers, my beloved co-hosts, at a time you think not, your friends, your family members, your loved ones, and your stream right at the very end will depart from you. See y'all sometime.